Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing first impressions, full face of first impressions of the... Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people pronounce the name of this brand wrong. They pronounce it, a lot of people think this sign is meant to be a tree, and it's not. It's actually an M. So this brand is actually called Mina. So a lot of people get the name wrong, call it Trina or Trina, or because you think it's a tree and people go tree in But anyway, it's pronounced Mina. I googled it online. And this was a collaboration, Mina x Primark. So I'm going to do a full face and I'll give you the full rundown of all products. So I'm going to start off with primer. This is the Matte and Smooth Primer. It doesn't give too much information, it just says mattifying primer. It was €3. This is what it looks like. It's very minimalist packaging, plain and simple packaging. So I'm just going to take it out, squirt it on my hand. There we go. It's a clear, it's a clear I'm just going to close it so no, it doesn't squirt out anymore. So I'm just going to apply this all over my face. And like it said, it's supposed to mattify. This actually feels quite oily. In my last video, the sleek makeup, that primer, it really mattified and I felt like it also hydrated my skin. I don't feel like this product is doing that. I don't know if I feel any difference really. But this one feels very oily. A little bit goes a long way. I don't feel like this happened with the sleek primer where my skin came out all red. I'm just going to wipe it off my hand while it's left. I know I have texture on my face and that's probably why I'm coming out all red, but any other primers I've tried before, I haven't come out this red. And it hasn't emphasized textures on my face either before. I'm just going to take that off and go in next with foundation. So the 3-in-1 foundation is primer, concealer and foundation. It was the... Hang on, I have it here. 3-in-1 foundation was €3. Okay, so this is the 3-in-1 foundation, prime, concealer and foundation. Again, it's very minimalist packaging. It's not so first of all, the texture is quite like a thick texture. And you have to squeeze the foundation out of it, which is a little bit difficult, and that's what it looks like. It is a thick texture. So I'm going to use my beauty blender to just apply this all over my face. I know I did pick a colour that is very dark for me, but again, during the summer when I tan, I'd be able to wear this colour. I don't mind the colour. I don't think the colour will make much of a difference, depending on how it looks on my skin once it's blended out everywhere evenly. As I said, I do think this is a thick foundation, and I do think this is applying rather thick. I just think you can see it in here already. I do feel like it's such a thick foundation, it's like emphasizing any texture I have. I always use the Maybelline Superstay foundation, and it never emphasizes my texture that much. I am going to have to go in for a bit more foundation. Usually when I'm using my Maybelline, you'd only need about 2.5 pumps. I already had loads squirted on my hand when I first was doing it a while ago, and now I'm going to go back in for more. It is really hard to get the foundation out of this. You really have to squeeze it out. Okay, so that's it for foundation. I do feel like it's emphasized the texture on my face, and in the time that I've applied it, there's already lines coming in here where I'd have smile lines, and it's only just applied. I don't think I got a powder to set this with, so I'm just going to check. No, I didn't get a powder to set this with, so I'm just going to keep going anyway. The next thing I'm going to do is the concealer. Now, it doesn't say anything about the concealer, what it's supposed to do as well. It just says concealer. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this on underneath my eye, and this is a small applicator, so I find you often have to go back in to get more on it. I'm going to put some on my eyelid as well. But I think compared to how much I would usually use, I'm using a lot now this time. And I still might go in with more again. So I'm just going to blend it out with the brush that I always use to blend out my concealer. Always. It is a blank canvas F11 brush. So now I'm just going to pat this all around. I don't think it's coming out in camera, but that is a really cakey concealer. I definitely think that primer didn't do anything for me. You can see all my textures and all my pores coming through. Even after applying the concealer. I am finding this a bit hard to blend out with just a brush, and I never really have that problem either when I use my own concealers. I'd always use the Maybelline or the Benefit, the Cakeless concealer as well. So I might just go back in with my beauty blender to see if I can blend it out a bit better. Oh, this is the Maybelline Dream. Hang on. That's the Maybelline concealer that I'd always use, and I've never had this problem when blending it out. So I'm going back in with the beauty blender that I applied the foundation with. Hopefully this will blend it out a bit better. I feel like it's making a bit of a difference. That is putting a bit of colour back into my face. I don't feel as white as a ghost anymore. I feel like that's blended out a bit better now with the beauty blender. It wasn't blending out really well with the brush, the brush. I do feel like the concealer is still a bit tacky when the foundation isn't as bad. I'm just gonna wipe my hands because I feel like I'm making a mess. So far, I'm not really liking anything, and so far there isn't anything from this collection that I would recommend. But for now, I'm going to do blush and bronzer and blush next, and then we'll move on to highlight. And then we do eyeshadow and all that next. So for bronzer, I have this bronzer, 330 is the number of it, and there isn't anything particularly that they say about it. I am thinking that I think this is a bit of a cool tone bronzer. Yeah, definitely I think that's a bit cool toned. I'll go in with a light hand first. I feel like it's not really coming up as a bronzer, it's looking more orangey than bronzy. Maybe it is doing something a slight bit, but I don't know, I feel like it's more like setting the foundation like a compact powder rather than bronzing the face. There is a lot of fallout of this as well when you're putting the brush into it as well. So that's the bronzer done. I don't feel like that did anything for like snatching the face or you know, I just feel like it made me look more orangey. The next thing I'm going to do is blush. So there's a blush and a highlight in this. I'm only going to use the blush. Okay, so again, there's a lot of kickback when when I'm trying to pick up the blush on the brush. There's a lot of kickback. I don't actually think this is doing anything really. There's only a little bit coming up. There's like a sheen to it as well. There's not a lot of pigment to it really. I think they're very basic really. I mean, a lot of these are only like €3, so you know you're paying for what you get really. So the next thing that I go to is highlight, and this is the 4 palette highlight. So now I'm just going to dip into the lightest shade. There's a lot of kickback. That's actually a nice highlight. That is a nice highlight actually. So far that's the only thing I'm liking. Yeah, it's quite nice. That's the only thing that I really like. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try this Longwear liquid lip. So I'm just going to apply this. There is a scent to this. It's a very neutral colour, kind of plain and nude. It feels quite nice on the lips actually. You can definitely feel it on the lips. I think it's drying, it's not dried down yet, but it doesn't feel terrible. It's a nice nude colour. So overall, the foundation, the primer and the concealer I don't like. The primer I felt like I didn't do anything. Foundation and concealer, they really sank into my pores and I feel like they emphasised any texture on my face. The blush was nice. The bronzer, I don't feel like I did anything. And the highlight, that was really nice. And the lips, it's a bit sticky now actually. There's better out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and let me know what you think, guys. Thanks guys.